in the incident of burning oil fields under the joint venture operation of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation / Chevron Nigeria Limited. The oil field is currently in conflagration. It's burning with so much intensity in my federal constituency, particularly at Oju-Imole in Ilaje local government area. I wish to please plead with my colleague to allow me move this motion as a matter that is urgent and to suspend the rules so that I can move the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. Thank you.
In favor of the motion, say aye. Those against it, say nay. Ayes have it.
People of Ilaje, Seldo Federal Constituency, Ilaje man from Ondo State. The motion is on the urgent need for the intervention of the House in the incident of burning oil fields under the joint venture operation of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation / Chevron Nigeria Limited. The House notes that no fewer than 5 oil wells, including Eastern West Field, Ayerin, Papebo Field, Malo Field, Ororo, Opabo, Otumara, Ikorigo, Kerido, under a joint venture operation of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation / Chevron Nigeria Limited in some communities in Ilaje local government area of Ondo State were recently gutted by fire, which started at around 10 p.m. on Thursday, April 18, 2019, leading to serious environmental disaster with resultant adverse effects on the health of the people of the host communities of Ajegunle, Ikorigo, Zion Ikorigo, Ehimoha, Otumara, Iluayo, Ojumole, amongst others. Also note that the infernal caused oil spillage, which destroyed many aquatic lives, fauna, and agricultural crops of the people, thereby causing untold economic loss and hardship. The House is further made to be aware that Chevron Nigeria Limited conducted a drone overflight to evaluate the fire, mobilized emergency responders to assess the affected area, and reported the fire incident in the Department of Petroleum Resources, National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, and other regulatory and statutory authorities. Saddened that the lingering fire keeps spreading with greater destructive implication, while Chevron or any of the regulatory authorities fails to come up with any constructive idea on how to put out the fire. Concerned that if immediate action is not taken, one of the longest coastline in Nigeria, which of course is in my place, with all its economic potentials, may be in jeopardy. The House accordingly resolved to urge the National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials to the affected people in those communities aforementioned. 2, urge the NNPC / Chevron Nigeria Limited joint venture, Nigerian Fire Service Department of Petroleum Resources, and National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agents to mobilize relevant officials to these fields to extinguish the fire. Invite NNPC / Chevron Nigeria Limited joint venture to immediately appear and brief the relevant House committee as regards the step taken thus far to put out the fire. Urge the Committee on Local Content and other relevant committee of the House to ensure adequate compensation for the concerned communities. And lastly, mandate the Committee on Governmental Affairs and Legislative Compliance to monitor the implementations of the resolution therein, particularly at Ugbo extraction, but very specifically at Ojumole communities as is on fire. This occurred by virtue of my understanding around April 16th. And as we talk today, the fire is raging with a very serious intensity. And the life of the people therein is in jeopardy. The environment is constantly polluted by this fire, notwithstanding the fact that spillages is also on the rise. And so when this is happening, it is expected that Chevron, which is in custody of this oil well through the JV NNPC Chevron Limited, ought to have worked assiduously to put out this fire in the interest of the environment and the interest of our people. But the way it is, the fire kept raging and the people at disarray. So my intent and the purpose of this motion is to draw very specifically the attention of this House to this very serious tragedy and to request that the prayers in the motion be passed to ensure that one, the fire is put out speedily by Chevron, compensation is arranged for those in those communities, stop spillages, the spillages that is currently on, and also ensure that these facilities moving forward is protected by Chevron. When I took the opportunity of intervening on this matter with Chevron, what Chevron told me was that this is a dry well without serious economic potential. But how can a dry wells begin to catch fire and burning at a very terrible intensity? And of course, even if it is a dry well, it is a well that they are indirectly or directly drilling from, whether through lateral or horizontal drilling. And so it is the responsibility of Chevron to do what is needful to ensure that apart from taking oil and the environment is constantly degraded, they should be able to do what is needful to keep the people at peace and ensure that issues like fire should naturally be reduced to the bare minimum. So I want to seek the concurrence of my colleagues to ensure that this motion is acceleratedly passed and ensure that normalcy can be restored to the people of Ajegunle, Ikoriwo, Ojumole in Ugbo extraction of my federal constituency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those against it say nay. I reserve it.